Okay, picture this. You walk into a coffee shop, it's a first date.
Right.
And you're doing that usual mental checklist, right? Is my shirt okay? Do I have something in my teeth?
Am I going to run out of things to say in 5 minutes?
Exactly. It's nerve-wracking. It feels like you're, walking a tightrope without a net.
It's the universal human experience. It's all vulnerability, uncertainty, that fear of rejection. It's chaotic.
Now, imagine stripping all of that chaos away. Imagine you aren't just, hoping for a spark. Imagine walking into that coffee shop with the tactical precision of an FBI hostage negotiator.
Okay.
The foresight of a chess grandmaster, and the psychological toolkit of a mentalist. You aren't there to see what happens. You are there to execute a critical scenario.
That changes the entire paradigm. You stop looking at romance as some kind of magical accident, and you start viewing it as a solvable game.
And that is the wild, slightly terrifying, but honestly fascinating premise of the document we're unpacking today. We're doing a deep dive into the mating table base, strategic influence, and evolutionary tradecraft.
And this is not your standard self-help column.
No, this is not be yourself and have fun. This is dense.
It is. This text treats human mating as a high-stakes strategic interaction. It pulls from behavioral economics, evolutionary psychology, game theory.
All the heavy hitters.
It effectively asks, what happens if we apply the same tools used to de-escalate bank robberies or win international debates to finding a life partner?
It's intense. And our mission today is to break down how a grandmaster of social strategy operates. We're going to look at their training, their dojo, the specific moves they use to control a room, which are kind of mind-blowing.
And then the really big question.
Right. Does treating love like a battlefield actually lead to a happy ending?
Right.
Or does it just turn you into a manipulative robot?
That's the central tension, isn't it? Can you strategize your way to genuine intimacy? Because the source material argues that you can, but only if you know exactly when to stop playing the game.
So let's start where they start, the dojo. I was looking at the background for these social grandmasters in the text, and I expected, pick up artist theory, basic psychology.
Sure.
But the source lists these incredibly rigorous training environments. We're talking about FBI hostage negotiation simulations.
It sounds extreme, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
But think about the skill set you need for a first date. You need to manage your own anxiety while reading the other person's hidden emotions.
Right.
The source highlights something called psychological leverage, and they point to training grounds like the Harvard program on negotiation. They use standardized actors.
I found this detail wild. These aren't just improv students.
No, these are specialists. In high-level training, these actors are coached to exhibit specific and difficult profiles. They might play someone with narcissistic traits or borderline personality traits.
So you're in a simulation, and you have an actor literally screaming at you, or maybe just stonewalling you.
Precisely, and the goal isn't to win, it's to train you to manage your own amygdala activation.
Your fight or flight.
Your fight or flight response. When someone's being difficult, your heart races, you get defensive. These simulations train you to override that biological panic so you can think clearly.
It's emotional waterproofing.
Yeah.
And they also mentioned the Negotiation Challenge, TNC.
TNC is a global competition. It simulates multi-party crises with short time limits. So it teaches you to create value when the clock is ticking and you have incomplete information.
Which is exactly what a first date is.
It's a perfect parallel.
Okay, so that's emotional control. Then the source moves to logic and accuracy. This part felt like training to be a lawyer. They talk about the WUDC, the World University's Debating Championship. Why is debating relevant to romance?
It's all about the speed of processing, specifically the British parliamentary format. In that format, you get zero prep time. You have to defend a position you might not even agree with instantly. It trains rapid cognitive switching.
So you're not just listening to what your date is saying.
Yeah.
You're mapping the structure of their argument.
You are mapping their reality. The source even mentions logic gate simulators, software that visually maps premises to expose fallacies. So a grandmaster isn't just nodding along, they're checking. Is this person consistent? Do their actions match their words?
It protects you from things like gaslighting, I guess.
It's a filter for stability.
But then you have to deliver all this, the public speaking and rhetoric side. This is where the tech comes in.
Yes, the virtual orator.
This sounded like a nightmare to me, a VR simulator.
It's a VR tool that puts you in front of a virtual audience. But here's the kicker. You can program that audience to be hostile, or bored, or distracted.
So you're talking to a room full of avatars, just looking at their phones or frowning at you.
And you have to maintain state control. You have to hold the room. And they pair this with AI coaches like Udly, which tracks your micro behaviors.
What does that mean?
It counts your ums and ahs, it checks your pacing, your eye contact. It's eliminating the tells of nervousness or deception. So by the time this grandmaster enters the dating pool, they aren't just dating, they are operating.
It feels like bringing a nuclear arsenal to a knife fight. But let's see how they deploy it. This brings us to the core concept, the mating table base.
Which is such a great metaphor. In chess, a table base is a computer database with all the perfect optimal moves for the endgame.
Right. It knows how to force a win mathematically.
And the source argues that social interaction can be viewed the same way. It calls mating a repeated game with incomplete information.
And to win, the grandmaster uses multi-channel communication. Let's break this down. First up is proxemics, spatial dominance.
This is about how you occupy space. The source talks about the king's square.
The spot with the best view.
Maximum observational control. Never have your back to the door. It's primal safety. But in a one-on-one, say at a bar, it's about the side approach versus the frontal approach.
Okay, walk me through that. Most people just sit directly across from their date, face to face.
Right, the frontal approach. Evolutionarily, that's confrontational. It signals a debate. It says, I need to defend my position.
So what does the strategist do?
They choose the side approach. They sit at a 90-degree angle or at the corner of a table or shoulder to shoulder at a bar.
So you're looking at something together.
Exactly. A menu, the people in the room, it triggers a collaborative mindset. It's us versus the world, not me versus you.
It is such a simple tweak. You're positioning yourself as a teammate from the jump. And then there's the intimate zone invasion.
It sounds like a military operation.
It really does, but it's super subtle.
It's a calibrated test for consent and interest. You don't just lunge in, you reduce the physical distance just slightly. You enter their personal bubble.
Like leaning in a bit closer to hear them.
Exactly. Or placing a hand on the table closer to theirs. You're testing for reciprocity without risking verbal rejection. If they lean away, you retreat. I'm done. But before leaning,
You've established a new baseline of intimacy.
silently.
It takes the awkwardness out of making a move. Okay, now let's talk about cryptimics. Time dominance. This is the one that really hit home for me. The texting game.
The manipulation of response latency. But to get it, you have to understand the neuroscience. It's about creating stochastic rewards.
Break that down. What's a stochastic reward?
Okay, think of a vending machine versus a slot machine. A vending machine is reliable. You put $1 in, you get a soda every time.
But it's not exciting.
It's not exciting. You take it and leave. A slot machine is unpredictable. Sometimes nothing, sometimes a little, sometimes a jackpot. That unpredictability creates a massive dopamine spike. It triggers seeking behavior.
So if I'm the person who always texts back instantly, I'm the vending machine.
You are the vending machine. Reliable, but maybe a little boring. The strategist turns themselves into a slot machine. They vary their response times.
2 minutes one time, 3 hours the next.
Exactly. It can create an obsession because the brain can't predict the pattern. And the source also mentions the Pavlovian interval.
Right.
You reward the behavior you want, like deep, honest communication with speed and enthusiasm. You punish the behavior you don't want, like boring small talk with delay.
So you're basically dog training your date.
In a sense, yes. You're conditioning them to communicate in the way you prefer.
That is devilishly clever and a little frightening. The third channel is kinesics, body language.
Yeah.
We've all heard of mirroring, but the source talks about isopraxism and breaking the mirror.
Isopraxism is just the fancy term for mirroring. But the Grandmaster doesn't just mirror to be liked, they mirror to check for control.
How does that work?
So imagine you're at the table, you've been mirroring your date's posture, you're in sync. Then the Grandmaster executes the break. They deliberately change their posture, they lean back.
And they wait to see what the date does.
Exactly. If the date subconsciously follows and leans back too, you have compliance. You're leading the interaction.
It's a leadership test disguised as body language. Okay, so we've established rapport, we're controlling space and time. Now we enter the mid-game, the vetting. Is this person a good match?
This is the phase of strategic gambits. And it leans heavily on evolutionary psychology, specifically costly signaling.
The peacock's tail.
The classic example. A peacock's tail is biologically expensive. It makes it easier for predators to catch. It's a handicap.
And it signals to the peahen, I'm so fit I can survive, even with this massive burden.
So how does a human do that? The source distinguishes between cheap talk and costly signals. Cheap talk is saying, I'm generous, I'm successful. Words are cheap.
A costly signal is an action that a low-quality mate literally can't afford to fake.
Right, actual fitness, because you can't fake the hours in the gym, or significant time investment. But the strategist also uses active tests. And this is where we get to the gold digger test.
Okay, I have to stop you here. I read this part and my jaw dropped.
Yeah.
They are suggesting you essentially lie to your partner to test them.
It's a very controversial tactic. It's basically the ultimatum game from economics. The strategist wants to know, is this person interested in me or in what I can provide?
So what, they fake a bankruptcy?
Sometimes, or they'll feign a temporary resource scarcity. They might say, my assets are frozen in a lawsuit, or I'm quitting my job to work on a passion project that pays nothing for now.
But that's just manipulation. You're building a relationship on a lie. If I found that out, I'd be furious.
And that's the risk. But the source argues the cost of not doing it is higher. They're trying to distinguish between an entitlement pattern and a reciprocity pattern.
Okay.
If you drop that news and the partner bails or gets angry you can't pay for dinner, you've exposed a transactional mindset.
You're filtering out the fair weather fans.
Right. But if they say, okay, that's tough, but we'll figure it out. I've got this for a while. You found a reciprocity pattern. It's better to trigger that crisis artificially now than wait 5 years for a real one.
It's a stress test. I guess I see the logic, even if it feels dirty. But let's say they pass. Now comes the most critical part, the pivot. Because if you stay in master strategist mode forever, that's not a relationship.
That's the danger zone. The source is very clear. Keep the mentalist's mask on too long and you create asymmetric dependency. The partner feels resentful or inadequate. You have to pivot from a zero-sum game to a non-zero-sum game.
And the key is the tactical reveal. This isn't just, trauma dumping, right?
No, absolutely not. A tactical reveal is a calculated move to vulnerability. You share calibrated vulnerability, usually a past failure that you have already resolved.
Give me an example. What's the difference?
A bad reveal is, I have massive credit card debt and I don't know what to do. That just signals incompetence. A tactical reveal is, 5 years ago, I got into bad debt. It was scary. But I spent 2 years grinding, paid it all off, and now I'm super strict with my budget.
It shows you're human, you made a mistake. But it also shows you're competent, you fixed it.
Exactly. It triggers the pratfall effect. Psychology shows that a competent person with a minor flaw is more likable. We don't trust perfection. We trust people who've overcome something.
It's vulnerability with a safety net. And this leads to provider fatigue. I feel like this describes so many type A daters.
The super dater. They plan everything, pay for everything, solve every problem. But you burn out. And more importantly, you deny your partner the chance to invest in you.
This is a mutual sunk cost idea.
Yes. Sunk cost is usually a fallacy, right? Staying in something bad because you've invested time. But in a relationship, you want sunk cost. You want your partner to have invested their time, effort, and resources into you.
So by letting them cook for you or pick you up from the airport, you're actually making them like you more.
It's the Benjamin Franklin effect. Doing a favor for someone makes you like them more. The Grandmaster has to deliberately step back and let the partner be the hero for a moment.
You have to stop being the chess grandmaster and start being a partner. Which brings us to the final scorecard. The source compares two models, transactional pretense versus radical transparency.
This is the ultimate showdown. Transactional pretense is the Instagram relationship, showing off the best version of yourself, hiding flaws, expensive dates.
It was great from the outside.
And it works short term. The pros are a high initial success rate. It's a dopamine flood. You get the second date.
But the cons?
High maintenance costs. You're exhausted keeping that mask on. The relationship is fragile. It relies on asymmetric dependency. You stay together because of the time invested, not because you actually fit.
And contrast that with radical transparency.
This is the Grandmaster standard. Uncomfortable honesty and fast failure. You show your true colors, your weird habits, your financial reality very early.
Which sounds terrifying. You're going to get rejected. A lot.
The upfront friction is huge. You filter out maybe 90% of potential partners, but, and this is key, the ones who stay.
They're there for you.
For you, not the mask. The source calls this a stability built on relational connection.
So pretense gives you quantity. Transparency gives you quality.
And in the long run, transparency creates an equilibrium. If I know everything about you and you know everything about me and we still choose to be here, the risk of defection, cheating, leaving it just plummets. We have a true alliance.
It's the ultimate irony, isn't it? We started this talking about FBI tactics, VR simulations, psychological warfare, but the ultimate Grandmaster move is just stopping the game and being real.
Well, looking at it through the lens of the source, being real is the game. It's just the long game. The strategist uses the tools, the proxemics, the vetting, not to trick someone, but to efficiently find the person they can be transparent with.
They use the complex tools to diagnose the situation so they know when it's safe to drop the tools.
Exactly. The strategy is the bridge. The destination isn't manipulation. It's a secure pair bond. You just can't build that bond on chip talk and tactical masks.
It really makes you rethink how we approach modern dating. We spend so much time trying to curate the perfect profile, craft the perfect text,
We optimize for the yes.
when we should be optimizing for the right yes.
Exactly.
So here's the question we want to leave you with today. It's a bit of a mirror check. Are you operating in a transactional pretense model, exhausting yourself to keep people around? Or are you brave enough to try radical transparency, even if it means losing a few pawns along the way?
And is your strategy, whatever it may be, actually preventing you from finding the very connection you're fighting so hard to get?
Something to think about the next time you leave someone on read for 3 hours just to create stochastic reward. Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.